Hello all, this is Zimnala coming at you with another adventure in the Kingdom of Thornwood. So yes, I've had a playthrough going for Shining in the Darkness Edition. And it has actually restarted once before, but the mod developer has made another update to it and has personally asked me to try the new update because he rebalanced things with some of the enemies deeper into the labyrinth, so yeah. I am going to do so. So if you want my first impressions on these areas, the previous videos will be that, and this is going to be more like a normal playthrough of the mod rather than one where I collect information, so I guess you can choose whichever adventure you want, but I mean, if I'm going to play through it, I'm gonna make a record of it, so yeah. This should go faster. I'm thinking I could probably shave a couple of hours off of the play. So that the distance I had made it through it before I found out was the end of the third trial. We had just made it through the Trial of Truth, so. Well, I would hardly call what I'm gonna do a speed run, because I'm still gonna make sure that the data is correct that I have written. I will not have to I would definitely won't have to make the whole document or anything, so. This will take considerably less time. Now, from what I understand, what was changed in this update was the price of the main Gosh has been increased to 1100 from 800, so it'll be a little bit more expensive to get, which is fine. It's probably a decent balance. I do think that that's probably not a significant enough increase for that, because that only makes it 100 more expensive than the shield is, so unless there was a balancing otherwise, I'd still say it's really close together. But I mean, it's not like it matters too much. So yeah, with the first bit of gold that we got, we are going to do a few things. We're going to sell the bronze knife. We're going to buy the wooden club. Since it is a decent upgrade, we are going to go and we are going to buy the gauntlet. So we've got a little bit better of a weapon and a little bit better of an armor, so we should have a pretty easy time. So with that in tow, we're gonna go back and talk to the king. And they will be sending us off into the labyrinth. So yeah, the biggest things I'm going to be checking is just if the EXP and gold things have been changed for the most part. The mod developer didn't tell me about much being changed in the beginning other than the price of that, so well, I'm gonna guess that nothing really has been changed. I'm not going to assume that my information is complete on what enemies can do what, so I'm still gonna take a note anytime that they do something and confirm whether it's changed or not. Now, the beginning of the game doesn't actually have that many abilities that enemies have, but it does have some. And I will make note on different sprites from the base in case this is someone's first experience, so these are like a reskinned version of the crystal oozes at the end of the game. The neon green is a little bright in my opinion, but I mean, it's still pretty much the same slime, it just looks different. Looks a lot more radioactive, so yeah, the golden EXP is the same as I remember, so far so same. Yeah, these starting slimes don't really have any stat advantage over the original from what I can tell. But they do give 4 times the experience and gold of the base game, so they do make a little bit quicker of a start, so there's that at least. So the items and equipment in this game have been reshuffled and enemies' drops have been changed. Their EXP values and attacks have been also changed to some degree, as well as the drop rates for various items. So herbs are far more likely, for instance. So we'll have a little easier time staying healed in the early game. Now, from what I gathered, the regular bosses haven't been actually changed too much, unless he actually changed them and didn't tell me about it. So, the first crab boss shouldn't be too bad. These are remodeled cave slugs. They are the same model as the scavengers used to be from the beginning of the Cave of Strength. So, yeah, they have the ability to poison on top of that, but otherwise their stats aren't too different. So that's really the only thing I've done. They also give more experience in gold. They give like 8 EXP and 9 gold, so they're also considerably buffed from the original. And just in terms of how quickly they level you up, but don't get too worried about the EXP curve because it mellows out very quickly after that and maintains a pretty steady pace. So I actually kind of liked the EXP curve of it. It made sense. A little bit more so than even the base game did. So far this seems like a decent experience for even new players to get into. It doesn't have too much more going on that it would be rough, but there's a couple of notable exceptions in that, and I will note them when we get to those sections. So yeah, we're gonna go back and heal up. I'm not really gonna make notes on the story, it's not any different than the base game, so I'm gonna guess that anyone that is gonna be interested in this mod has probably already made it through the base game. So as for equipment, I'm gonna aim for the leather helm. That's probably gonna be the first major upgrade that we get. Yeah, and that requires 200, and then we're gonna save up and try to get the bronze saber. I'm not gonna like go too far from the entrance unless I get like a couple herbs, so no real reason to get caught flat out. It's also a little rougher because a lot of the early enemies can poison, so I don't want to go too far in case that happens. There's no reason to take a death, it'll just make it take a longer, so just gonna stick around the entrance. It's not like the enemies too far in give much more XP either. Like, it does kind of curve out, like, starting from the cave slug, they give 8 and 9 gold respectively, whereas the killer bee gives 18 and 18, which is the strongest enemy in the first section, so it's only twice as much. Now if you compare that to the base game, like the cave slug gives 1 and 2, so 1 and 2, so you end up you're already at a much higher rate of gold. And actually, I think it's already more with just the cave slug than the base game has for the killer bee, so even if we went no further than the entrance, we'd still be leveling up faster than you would in the base game, so yeah. Progression should still go by pretty quick, no matter where we are in the dungeon. But like I said, once we get some basic equipment, it'll be fine to like go in and start wandering a little deeper. There is a couple of treasure chests that give us some gold and items to sell, so it's still worth going in there. As long as we aren't going to be unduly inconvenienced by hardship. We should also go up in levels pretty quick, and if I was to guess, I'd say we'll probably be like level 12 or so before we get our party, but maybe it'll be like 10 or 12. Like it's somewhere in that range, so like I said, it will be a little quicker EXP rate than the base game at the beginning. We'll probably maintain like a steady pace of like maybe 2 or 3 levels above the base game at that same stage. And if I notice any particular differences from the version I played, I will also make note of that. But as you can see, we're getting herbs. So a lot of the early enemies actually do just drop herbs. So it's not just the slimes. I believe the cave slugs are another one that does. And if anyone's interested, the mod is available in the Shining Central forums, so that is definitely an option for anyone that wants to play. So the pitworms are actually a recolored version of the normal pitworms. They actually do almost the same exact thing as the cave slugs, they just have slightly more hit points. We also had it run away, so we're not even going to get the XP for it. So that's a little unfortunate. But they also poison like the cave slugs, so that's why I say they're basically the same thing, and that's the only thing I noted about them. there's our third herb, so yeah, we can start using them just to make things a little easier for us. How's our stats doing? We do have enough to get the leather helmet if we want. I might honestly do it. We won't need to heal, but I mean, we'll just go there and grab the helmet and then go a little deeper into it. So yeah, so starting at like that second like spawn area where the harder enemies pop in, that's when we start coming up with actual differences that make them a difference. So I'll talk about those when we encounter those enemies. Yeah, so none of these prices look any different. I'm just gonna assume that they're all the same. The guy gave us a special, like we're not gonna be able to use this, but this was a really good item. It has definitely been buffed in this mod, so. But this is another 10 armor, so that should help us out a lot. But yeah, now we're gonna have to save up to like, I want to say 850. So we can get the bronze saber. It's just gonna be like a weapon we'll be carrying through us the first couple of trials, so it's worth saving up for. So you basically have the equipment that we're gonna have for this beginning area up until the point where we can afford that, and once we get that, we'll fight the crab. Yeah, and just like before, I'm probably gonna split up my streams in 2 different sections, so like, I might take a break after I finish the starting area, for instance, and like cut off the stream and come back to it later. And I'll probably upload them in a similar fashion. It's just kind of a way of compartmentalizing it. If I play this too much directly, I'll burn out, and it makes it less likely that I'll finish it quickly, whereas if I split it up, it lets me recharge on other stuff. I have like done the beginning of this multiple times now in recent history, so it was a little bit more than I was originally intending on, but I mean, I do love the game, so I'm not complaining too much. And the actual reason why I'm willing to do this is because it should actually help others enjoy this mod better if I help it get the publicity and notice to fix any glaring issues, so I will happily give back to the community in that way by just playing the beginning a couple times. So yeah, that bronze knife is 75 gold, so that'll be useful. I guess I could talk about like why I replayed it once before already, in case this is the first stream people got. So when I originally got this mod, it was a couple of months ago. I just downloaded it and said, hey, this looks interesting, I'll play this later. Probably makes sense, but what I found out later when I started, the mod developer actually reached out and told me that that version that I had was bugged, so he'd made major changes to it and recommended that I upgrade to 1.5. So that's what I made the main portion of my first impressions on. And then after I started that and got to where I said at the beginning of this, they then reached out to me again and let me know that they'd upgraded it and made balance changes to the end of the game as well, and recommended that I upgrade. And then they promised not to actually upload it again until I finish my stuff. And I'm like, well, that is an option you can take. And I don't actually mind if you want to work on it and upgrade it. That's up to you. But I mean, I'm probably not going to restart again even if you update it for quite a while. So yeah, now I could talk about this new enemy. This is the most dangerous enemy in the beginning now. So these dark jellies cast magic on us, which does about 10 damage. It's freeze. They cast freeze level 1. You'll see this. So it's not that deadly, but it is more deadly than anything else is going to be for us. So one of them's not a major problem. 2 or 3 of them could be a problem, and I'll try to run from that kind of group. We do have herbs, so we do have options. But the bigger problem is that we're not actually able to kill things in one hit, so we can't reliably take one of them out each turn yet. And just leveling up will probably solve that problem pretty quick, because we gain a lot of attack with the main character. And we also get a lot of herbs, so like we'll probably be able to heal at a decent pace in this area. And I guess the other commentary I made about the intro area that would be noted in the main play that I did for First Impressions is that a lot of these enemies in this first area, the only real special abilities that they have is poison, but you do start getting a couple more interesting things towards the end of it, and I'll talk about what those last couple enemies can do when we get there. So these Neanderthals don't have anything special that I noted the first time, but I was... Oh, you have Howl for Help. There's an ability. There we go. Yeah, I'd made commentary on stuff, so there is a chance that some attacks have been added to stuff, so I'm gonna still keep an eye out. So Howling for Help is something that they probably should have had. But they're also one of the enemies that can start doing physical damage through our defenses, even with what we bought. So yeah. But so far they're missing, which is good for us. Yeah, if I notice any like things that are outside of what I experienced the first time, I'll make note of it like that. So that was probably added, but I really don't have a way of determining that short of just like empirical evidence, so I didn't experience it on my first playthrough. So like if you wanted to see how like my thing went, that video is actually already up. So I don't really want to face these guys. I'm gonna hope I'm gonna run. I couldn't run. I'm gonna try again. Please let me run. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna go back a bit. The main thing is the jelly. I could care less about the bees. The bees are the strongest enemy in this area, and they can do some damage, but they aren't gonna cast magic. That's gonna hurt us. They do have Blast level 1, which is annoying, but they also don't seem to use it nearly as much as the Dark Jelly, but they can also poison us. I do theorize that the Dark Jelly can poison us, but I never experienced it, so I didn't write it down. So yeah, like, while I can theorize that enemies will do stuff, until I see it, I don't write it in my notes, because I make notes of them, because, yeah, there's no documentation on, like, what... Oh, so you have critical hits now, so I do think that these guys were changed. So critical hits and howling are your abilities, so... That was something I had suspected that they had originally, so... If you recently added them in with this change... I do applaud that. I think that they can use it. And as you can see, the critical hit doesn't do too much damage for the beginning game, so It's not too rough, but it does make a little bit of something to keep you on your edge. So if I hadn't bought that hat, that would have been a much bigger problem. They probably would have done like 15 or 20 damage to us, and that could have been real bad. But yeah. I did, and I'm not having problems, so as you can see. It's all about planning. How are we doing for gold? We're about halfway to our gold. We can use another herb. Yeah, if we start running low on herbs, I'll move much closer to the beginning until I get a few more. But yeah, our main goal is not to fight too many of those jellies, or any of them, honestly. But basically, if I fight more than one of them, the answer is I'm not going to try to fight more than one of them. I'm just going to run. As it costs less to do that than to just fight them. So that's just a cost analysis I'm making currently. There we go, another herb to keep us fine. Yeah, so we can go back a little bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna probably shuffle back and forth from the beginning to there, just as our herb supply goes. If we get poisoned, I'll go back to town like immediately though, just to get unpoisoned, because I don't need to deal with that for like purposes. But this is an example of a group I don't want to fight. So yeah. Believe it or not, I'm fine with these guys summoning friends because, like, I still think we're gonna kill them about as fast as they summon them, and that just means more EXP, honestly. Like, I'll fight a never-ending battle as long as I keep getting EXP for it and I don't die from it. It just saves me from having to go look for them. I mean, I've got 3 herbs, I can be here for a while. But as you can see, this could be a problem if they were dangerous. This might be one that someone would have to run from if they hadn't gotten armor, or didn't have herbs, or something like that, but like, I don't feel like I'm in that big a danger. I mean, 7 occasionally does hurt a little bit, but I mean, it's not too bad. Like, when we win this, we're probably gonna get all the gold I need. And honestly, when they howl for help, it does mean that they're not actually attacking us. So, I mean, it does make things a little safer for us that they're doing other stuff. And I could end up wrong and I might just never win this. That is another option that could happen here, but like, I have faith in ourselves. We're gonna be okay. Maybe. Let's heal up. Alright. Look at that, running works too. We are making headway, as you can see. See, I had faith. But that was actually kind of fun. We're probably gonna gain like maybe 2 levels off of this, and probably all the gold that we needed. Well, maybe most of the gold, maybe not all of it. But hey, I mean, we'll probably be like still getting the most of what we needed. Like we need another 250 gold. Still, we gained a whole level on that fight. We might actually be at the point where we can straight up kill them in one hit now, so that wouldn't have the same outcome as we just had. Yeah, so the dark bats, from what I remember, did poison hit and slow, so we will just see if we see anything new. These killer bees can cast a spell on us that does damage, though, so we don't really want that. So we're gonna focus them down. Yeah, so that's 50 and 50. Yeah, we're getting a lot closer to where we need to be. We're down to 1 herb though, so I am gonna move a little closer to the entrance though. Just till we get up to at least 2. We did use most of it up on that last battle, but honestly it went well. Like I'm satisfied with how that went. I thought it was actually pretty funny watching the monkeys just keep on summoning each other. Absolute hilarity. And that's the other thing, as we level up, these starting monsters start running away more, so like that wouldn't happen now that we level higher, because like as you saw, the monkeys were starting to run at that level almost anyway, and now they probably have a decent chance to run. So, yeah, see, case in point there, one of them basically ran there. So, we'll have a couple new takers, we'll have a couple of them run away, but yeah, see, we killed that one outright, so I was right. We're getting to the point where we can just like straight fight them. Yeah, the mod developer reached out to me and told me that there was a mod update with balance changes. So, and he personally asked me to play through this originally anyway. So, I'm going to showcase and explain what the differences are. The previous one was version 1.5. And this is version 1.51. So one of the changes that's happened is those monkeys can call for help already, and they do critical hits. So that was actually something I had originally commented that they should probably be able to do, because they were pretty plain. And yeah, and if doing this helps make a better game for the community, I'm perfectly fine with doing that. I do enjoy this game in general. And I was actually only like maybe like 7 hours in anyway, so it's not like it's a big time loss. It's not like I'm not gonna upload the videos anyway, you know? Besides, most of the fun I get is seeing differences, so seeing what he just recently added is actually not something I dislike anyway. Because, like, seeing the monkeys get better did make me happy. Yeah, so about 107 gold, and I'll probably be able to go get the weapon I need to finish this area. Just saving up to get that bronze saber. There's also a chance that he buffed up that boss though after he saw how it was, so maybe it won't be as easy as I think it is. Like I said in my previous video, I do think that the bosses needed buffing, so if he did, I'll actually be kinda happy about it. But I do think there's a good chance that getting that is all I need. Because like I've gotten like a decent armor increase. There is more armor I could get. But I'm still convinced that damage is king. Oh yeah, I'm playing through it again won't take nearly as long because at least a quarter of my time was spent just documenting stuff. So like now that most of that's already documented, this will go by much faster. Oh good, the other one ran. Alright, we're almost there. We'll heal up just in case. Yeah, we only need about 20 more gold, and I'll say we're in a good place to buy everything we need. Because we're gonna buy the bronze saber, we're going to buy an angel feather to get out in case things go sideways, and we're gonna heal up, and we should be good. Ah, see, they poisoned us. And that's why we're not so far from the entrance right now. Yeah. Like, one more battle should get us there from mostly anything. We are right around the corner from the entrance, so the poison won't even matter too much. Yep, and there's another herb, so we'll carry that with us to heal up when we go in. Alright, so let's sell our nonsense. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of our club. Okay, we're gonna get our bronze saber. Okay, and yeah, that's 40 attacks, so that's just a really strong increase for this point in the game. we're gonna heal up. So I guess I was off by a little bit because we're poisoned, so yeah. Well, what I can do about that is I can actually sell one of the herbs we got to make up the difference, so I'm gonna actually do that. As much as using the herb would be useful for getting in, getting rid of the poison will just make the run better, so it's a balance. Besides, the herb was free anyway. We'll probably get another herb on the way in anyway. And there's actually herbs in treasure chests anyway. I don't need to worry about it at all. But we're gonna heal our poison, we are gonna save it, and we are gonna wander in. We're at level 9, so yeah, we're probably gonna be at like level 10 when we fight the boss. At this rate, so that's faster than last time. Another thing that'll make progression a little faster is I'm not gonna be like having to experiment with items nearly as much, and that did eat up some of my time and a decent amount of my gold. So everything that's in the beginning shops has already been tested by me on what its stats are, so unless I like get equipment from enemies that I didn't get normally, then I won't have anything to test. And it won't involve using my gold, so it also wouldn't impact that either. I'm also not going to like go out of my way to collect items too much, but maybe I will because we have spots for it. We've got a couple of spots, so I guess it's fine. Because like I was thinking I'd come back with my 2 party members and get it, and I probably will make a trip in with them anyway, but I guess if I don't need to go all the way in, I don't need to go all the way in, so. And a lot of these enemies are going to be running from us at this point. Like that is unfortunately one thing that I don't think the mod could change is how the threat level for enemies worked, because these enemies are pretty scared of us and they are essentially chasing over themselves to get away from us at this point. It kind of fixes itself after the first couple trials because they largely stop running from you at that point. But up until like the Trial of Courage, enemies have a decent chance of running if you level up. Yeah, we do not want to fight these guys. They just are all spellcasters. Same thing, different flavors. Yeah. Seriously, we don't want to fight you guys. Get out of here. Still, you're all spellcasters. Get out of here. We'll fight you after we fight the boss. These guys are fine, though. These guys can howl for friends. They're hilarious. I love them. Look at that awesome blow for 3 damage. So impressive. Yeah, I'll just take a little bit of time and map out the area so I don't have to come this deep with my other party. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight these guys. Well... I guess I'll fight one. I just didn't want to fight 3 of them. Same thing with this pile. Hilarious. No, thank you. As long as there's only one spellcaster, it's fine. I have like 2 herbs, so it's something we can heal up if we need to. Yeah, and getting some gold now would actually help with outfitting the new characters, because they don't start with anything. So here's another herb. Cool. So we only have one more treasure chest in the main part of this, and it's down here. Yeah, please don't do anything. You did something. Of course. Yep, 100 gold will help. Oh, yep. Yep, so we're basically to our friend the crab. He's right around the corner up here. So I guess the level up at the end is actually pretty nice. It'll give us a little stat boost, so let's heal up a bit. Do we have room for another one? We almost do. I'm thinking we're fine though, so I'm just gonna start it. So what do you got, Kaiser Crab? So you did it, one attack. You didn't do anything else, that's fine. Just an attack. Cool, yep, 2 hits. So we got our tiara. Yep, still can't wear it. I keep hoping. I like that in the main game. So yeah, we're gonna walk our way out of here. I think that's fine. We have an out if we need it, but walking out is fine too. We'll take our victory lap. We can be a little less frugal with what we have going on because we've beaten the boss. So yeah, the monkey was the only thing that I noted different about the intro from my first experience. So if that was changed, that's a good change. So yeah, it's still good armor for the for Pyra. The mod developer did make it so that's the only character that can wear it. I'm really sad that I can't have Princess Milo. I did always like doing that, but it's fine. I'll accept it. It actually got buffed a lot. It gives 30 defense. It also sells for, I want to say the equivalent of, well, so the price of it is 9,000 in the store. It's a little sad that it's not over 9,000, but I mean, it does sell for like close to 7,000 if you want to sell it. I mean, on second thought, it might be worth selling and just buying that better magic hood anyway. I might do that. I've had my fun with it last game, but the magic hood is just more defense. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep that and I'm gonna save up for the magic hood because that's still the best hat that she can wear and she doesn't need to wear the magic hood. The magic hood's better for Milo. So, ixnay on that plan. I think the most interesting change to equipment that I noted was that everyone can use the long spear for some reason. It's not really interesting in a way that I think is especially useful, but it is interesting to me. Where am I? I'm right here, okay. Well, we have mostly walked out. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that the beginning of this was extraordinarily faster than last play, but it was about 15 minutes faster, so... Yeah, so there is a case to be made, and I did use it for the one boss I fought, so I tend to give it to a character that can use it, that uses one of the multi-hit weapons that only hits a single target. In this case, the Morning Stars are those, they are whips. So everyone can use the Morning Star in their whips. So I do think that's an interesting change. It is nice to have multi-hit targets options for everyone. And pretty early on. Apparently one of the other change-ups is that the sword line supposedly has progressively better chances at critical hitting. Even though they're single target ones, so... And from what I understand, the later versions of the swords, especially the Bolt and Mithril and... Oh, I mean Storm, Mithril, and Light all give area of effect damage like the Morning Star. I'm gonna guess it's not like the Flail, I'm gonna guess it's like the Whip. It was like the Flail, it would just murder bosses because he's so strong. But yeah, let's go talk to the king. Let's get this sorted. Yeah, you have to talk to them. Let's go get our party members. How much money are we looking at? We have 1,000. Okay, I know what I'll do with that. If you're wondering what, if your guess on what I'm gonna do with that much money is, I'm gonna buy another bronze saber and give it to Pyra. The answer is yes. Milo gets Jack. Better off next time, Milo. Sucks to be you. Well, we'll be back for you, Gilla. You're gonna join us for the final boss anyway. Us 6 legendary heroes will take down the boss. As always. Right? But yeah, my favorite thing is getting every single one of the optional party members and bringing them to the final boss. I actually just recently found out that the princess has unique dialogue if you bring her to the final battle. She basically tells the king, "Yeah, I want to go fighting with the hero again." But nothing beats hitting Dark Soul with a Wachunga, I tell ya. So do I have anything I don't want on me? Well, we're certainly not gonna need your bronze knife. Let's get that out of your pocket. Look at you offering me something useful. What do I have as options? I can actually get Milo something. Milo can get something to cover his unsightly head. Oh, look at you offering me something. Yeah, Pyro's gonna be pretty much invincible for a while, so yeah, we're gonna go back in, we're gonna talk to them. Oh, so you do have to talk to both of them. That was my next test, was you have to talk to both of these two. I tested one and then the other on different playthroughs recently, and if you don't talk to both of them, it won't let you. Tragic. There we go. We're ready for adventure. Hey, Surprisingum's good for us. But yeah, two of us will be able to do damage, and Milo can just kind of stand in the corner and be sad. But I mean, it's fine. But yeah, once we get like 2 or 3 levels, we'll be able to go a little further. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, the ideal is to just get the Morning Star for the main character and the whip for Pyra, and then we'll just be balling through the first 2 dungeons. Look at you being a pretty big damage group. It shouldn't be too dangerous for us, though. I mean, Milo is the only one in any danger at this point anyway. And the first thing we're gonna use up is the herbs anyway. We're not gonna need them now that we can heal. Yeah, once I get up past the initial part of this, I'm gonna basically do end of video cap for this. Cause that's how I'm gonna like segment it for uploading. Cause I save my stuff on YouTube for posterity. But I'll probably keep playing just to push through it. Because the first part of it's so short. There we go, level 4. Yeah, let's slap some herbs in them. Alright, so that's fine. What am I looking at? So when I get to about 400, I can afford to give Milo an actual weapon. Actually, with his dagger we can get rid of, I only need to get another 150, so it's not too bad. I guess we could go a little deeper in, like, there's no particular reason to stay there, like... We're healed up enough that even if they can hurt Milo, they're not gonna hurt the other 2 characters at all, and we got another herb, so yeah, we're good. Let's go in. I'm not gonna try to go beyond the door, because there's a lot more spellcasters over there, so... Defense isn't going to help us. And Pyra doesn't really have the defense to deal with that. I mean, the HP to deal with that yet. Yeah, but every level's getting us a little enough of a buffer, you know? Look at you being a bunch of spellcasters, but we'll give it a risk. Come on, Milo. Kill the other one. You probably won't, but be useful if you did. You did it! Okay, Milo's back in our good pile, so thank you, Milo. You did it. Milo is officially cleanup crew for Pyra. Nice. So how are we looking? Can we afford it yet? We need about 50. Okay. Hey, another herb. That guy's balling us with herbs. That's acceptable. I kinda wish there was a way to make attack magic actually useful for the player to use, but I don't think that's likely to happen with any of these mod hacks. Because if you buff it for the player, you're probably gonna buff it for the enemy, so... And that actually would probably not be safe, so... Okay, yeah, we're at a good place. We can go buy Milo his first weapon. Yeah, my first run into the Cave of Strength, I don't actually get any real armor. I don't usually make it very far, but I get enough gold to get something more decent than the basic stuff. Alright, we can sell off Milo's dagger. We're gonna buy for him a little axe. Then we're gonna heal up, we're gonna save it, and then we're gonna mosey in. So yes, thank you anyone that decided to follow along with this replay through. I am going to be adding this in after my previous streams on YouTube, so enjoy that if you wish, and you all take care.